Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? This is James again. I'm here to talk about this issue of young people protesting in Kenya. And I would want to caution everybody. This is not a light matter. It should be taken seriously. These young people, they're talking about they're going to occupy the church. I'm going to go to the Bible and we're going to look at a few things that probably is going wrong in a very brief moment. I stand here not sure whether I'm a millennial and probably a Generation X, because most of my friends I have hung out with the Generation X people, but I was actually born as a millennial. Now, Generation X or Gen Z, these are kids who do not know corruption. They do not know tribe. They love to be honest. Those people who are calling them lazy need to stop, because they are not lazy. They are kids that are brilliant. They are exposed. The world is a small village to them. They could be physically in a certain location, but their mind and their exposure is all over the place. Now, I'm going to warn the church leaders in Kenya, because the church is paramount in human race and in every generation. The church has always rose up. And this is not the first time the church has made a mistake. Jesus Christ himself walked into a synagogue and he found people doing things that they were not supposed to be doing in church. It's sad that it's now our kids who are noticing what the church is failing to do by error of commission or by error of omission. The church has been equipped with tools that can be able to stand up for justice. But for the last 25 years, I think the church has failed us as a people. Now, we see politicians in churches all the time with a lot of money. These kids know very well that this money is money gotten from corruption. In my adult life, and I'm a Christian, what I can tell you is that I have never sat down in a church and see a politician in front of me. The only thing I see is probably a church pastor, a church member, a church deacon, or even any leader of the church. But I have never seen a politician in church. Politicians ought not to step their feet in church, and if they go to church, let them sit down, worship God who created the heavens and earth, and go home. When they talk about the kingdom of God, I know of one kingdom that shall stand. And the president of Kenya, I urge you, take this issue very seriously. Just go seek God. Go and venture into the book of Daniel and you're going to see how much the king had a dream and it's only Daniel who was able to interpret to him. At the end of the day, he was one that the kingdom shall come and go. And it's true, even these kingdoms that are ruling us today will come and go. But the kingdom that shall stand is the kingdom of Jesus Christ. When the Gen Z says that they're going to go and occupy the church, I say, yes, young people, go do it. If the church is not standing for the truth, just go do it. Go to the church and be served. But the moment you see politicians standing there and talking nonsense, you should stand up. Because these are the people who are bringing corruption and they are the people who are ruining our future and the future of the children. Now, this time, we must be able to stand up for the truth. Martin Luther King, the young preacher, the young man from the southern part of the United States of America, led a revolution, and by 1960, in the early 60s, there was the civil rights movement. Could it be that the continent of Africa, starting from Libya going down to Cape Town in South Africa, going to the western part of the country, of the continent, going to the Horn of Africa, in Darfur and also in Congo and Central Africa, that the young people must rise and without violence and say enough is enough. I thank God for the young people in Kenya. We are behind you with prayers. We will continue to support you and tell you it's time you stand up for this evil that goes on. You must be assured of a job. You must be assured of a good living. You must be assured of good education. You must be ensured of dignity in your own country, because there is money to do that if that money is not going to the pockets of these crooked and crazy politicians. I always wonder, How can a politician, a member of parliament, afford to buy a Lexus GX or LX? How can they? With their mega salary, they should not be able to afford to do that. And if the people that they are leading are poor and they do not have school fees, then those politicians need to go sit down. The bill that they need to be discussing right now is to lower their salaries. Cut their salaries by 80%. They need to move from driving those expensive cars and just go think about how they can serve the people. And if they want to do that, they then need to leave those offices and leave it for people who want servant leadership. God bless you. And yes, think about the kingdom of God and do not fear. You must stand up for the truth so long as you're doing it peacefully. This is James. And you can visit my YouTube channel, James for Courage, where I'll be talking about these social issues, where we must stand up for what is right. Thank you.